Fred. All right, so how was TSO?
How was TSO?
Honestly.
Honestly. Oh, I am nothing but honest about TSO.
It was the holiday season, right? Holiday season.
God, it's yeah, you know what? It's every holiday. I don't get to see Halloween. I don't get to see Thanksgiving. I don't get to see Christmas. And I'm damn it if I'm lucky, I get to see New Year's. But I'm usually so damn tired that I don't even get to see the ball drop. You know, about the only thing that's dropping is my eyelids as I hit the bed. You know, it's like, so.
You were in Pittsburgh right around Christmas. TSO had a show in Pittsburgh
2 days before Christmas. Yeah, 3 days before Christmas.
Were you able to spend any time at home with anybody?
Anything?
Because you ghosted me. I tried to reach out to you. You absolutely ghosted
Everything
me.
was no. I don't get to go home. I don't get to see anybody.
That sucks.
Even the people that I work with down the arena. I don't even get to see them. They stop by to talk to me, and I'm like, I'm kind of busy, and because I go nonstop on that. I start in October, at the end of October, so that takes out Halloween. So there's been numerous Halloweens that I've missed.
Right.
And then it goes through Thanksgiving, and you're usually in some exotic place like, Cincinnati, and, for Thanksgiving. You know what I mean? It's like, ooh, wow! I can think of a million other places I'd like to be other than
that thriving metropolis,
Cincinnati. And then for like the past few years, like when I first went, it was Christmas in New York, and I mean, New York's a happening place, man. At Christmas time,
well, sure,
there's snow. Even if there's not snow, you've got giant Christmas trees. Even if it's not even that, you're in a hotel in Times Square, and it's Christmas, and you're going, this is fantastic, everything's great. Now, the last 2 years, Columbus, you know what I mean? It's just like in Columbus, I'm like going, yep.
Who's booking the store?
Yeah, exactly, I like to get my hands on them. But, so, I mean, and it's, TSO, I like it. I did it as a stagehand for years, and I remember when they played like the Palumbo Center on Didn't Do Anything. It was a small show then, and now it's this giant extravaganza. My buddy Brian Hartley, he does the lights for it. He designs all the lights and the gags and stuff like that. So it's a great visual show with some really good music.
Christmas music.
It's not just Christmas music. I mean, they play of all things, they play like Savatage songs that are really cool. Because I listen to Savatage. I saw them in concert, but I was like, wow, that's a Savatage song. All right, but so they play some Savatage and they play like some classical stuff. But they metal it out. I mean, these are metal guys.
Is it like a metal Mannheim steamroller? Is it kind of like that?
Yeah, kind of. You could say that. But these cats can actually play, and they were like in different bands, like Savatage, and Caffrey was in Savatage, and Joel is with like Cher, and he's in like Whitesnake, and like 50 other bands, So it's really cool. I think I saw Jeff Plate. Plate was with Metal Church. I mean, these cats all come from somewhere different. And it's really cool, and they come together and they play Christmas holiday music. Let's call it holiday music, and so they and it's just pyro lighting extravaganza.
Is it like Religious Kiss?
No, it's not religious at all because they don't beat any religion. They don't push religion. It's Paul O'Neill wrote some poems, and so he, some Christmas poems, and so it's basically the storylines is based around his poems, and then there's music that gets set to it, so it kind of explains the story. It's actually pretty cool.
Okay.
When I used to watch the show, when I used to have to do a spotlight, I'm like, please just let this end. 'Cause you're up there on a spotlight, you can't see what's going on. You can give two shits less with the, what's. I'm like, just let it end. It's great. They're like, the guys go out into the audience. So you're up there on a spotlight. This is when I was doing spotlights back in the day. And you're up on a spotlight, and it was like, he's going into the audience. Guess what? The lights are shooting right at my eyes. I got a laser shooting at me. I can't see shit, and he's gone. He's in an audience. They sell out every show, so you're talking about 16,000, 18,000 people. Your guess is as good as mine because my dude's about this tall. You know what I mean? And I'm going, yeah, okay.
So you lose them.
Yeah, they're like, pick him up. Pick him up where? It's an arena. Find him. There he is. Where he is. Because you know what? I'm 120 feet in the air, 128 feet in the air, and I'm about 200.
So what are you doing? You just like randomly shooting the light all over his garage?
When I do that and I lose them, I'm like, you know what? You find me. I'm parking it. You know, it's just like you walk back into it there. You know, it's a follow spot. You know, and you're leading and I'm following, and I just can't find you. You know. It's like a hide and seek spot, you know. It's like, no, maybe, nope. You know, just try. And I've seen it happen, man. I remember this one time. I'm going to jump off and tell you a story.
Oh, here we go. That's why you're here.
I remember this one time. You know, you got these guys, and I was working out at Star Lake, and this band comes through, and the LD was like a total asshole. And
what's the LD?
The lighting director, the guy that called
the lighting director.
He'll say, he was like, okay, spot one, I want you. There's spot 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever, how many spots you have. He was okay. Spot 1, you're on the singer. Spot 2, you're on the guitar player. Spot 3, you're on the bass player. Spot 4, you know, you're the drummer, whatever. And so, and that's what they're called. And they say, okay, and I need a frame 1 because there's different frames for different colors for your spotlight. Frame 1 on the guitar player in 3, 2, 1, go, and you hit your light and bang, you're on, you know.
Okay.
Or it's ready, go. You always have like a ready or a go, you know.
Okay.
And then there's like a blackout where you hurry up and black it out, or then there's a fade out where you slowly, dramatically fade it out. So this band comes to town, and we're out of Star Lake.
What band, Fred?
I'm not saying what band. I'm not saying what band. But it was funny because this guy, I mean, you know, you're up there and you can't see who's on the spotlight. You just know the number. And I remember this guy, he was sitting there and he was a horrible LD. He was a horrible spotlight caller. He was all coked up or whatever. And he's sitting there and he's yelling and he was lousy. And for me to say that about somebody, I mean, the guy sucked. And our guys are up there, you know, doing the best they can. We don't know the show.
Yeah.
You know, and we don't know who. I want you to pick up, you know, it's just like, and again, you're 100 some feet away, and this guy's running across the stage, and he just, and go. And it's just like, wait a second, you know, you're supposed to follow him, but you know what, you're not going to. So this guy starts yelling, and we're all up there together. We're like looking at each other going, this guy's an asshole. And the one guy was like, he was huge. He was like cut. He was muscular. And he's up there on the spotlight, and he's sitting there, you know, and the guy's like, spot 4. He goes, damn it, man. He goes, pay. The guy goes, look, man, the guy's right. He goes, pow. He's bawling this guy out. And he's like, you know, he's like, look, man, I'm trying, but we can't hear you. We can't. He had a southern drawl, so we really don't understand what the hell he was saying. Hey, man, I need spot 4 to get. By the time he got it out of his mouth, the guy's already gone. You know what I mean? It's gone. You know, the lighting cue was done. Yeah. So anyway, this guy can't even speak. You know, and he's like, spot 4, I need you to pick up the guitar player in 3. Oh man, but you were late. No, man, you never called it. You know, so. He's sitting there. He's like, you know, spot 4, you're the worst I've ever seen. The guy goes, well, this isn't my real job, you know. And the guy goes, I can tell it's not your real job. He's like sitting there yelling at this guy. He's like, look, man, I'm trying the best, but we can't hear you. We can't understand you. And the guy's like, well, you, he starts bawling him out. He's MFing him the whole time he's up there. And he's like, you know what, spot 4? I ought to come up there and kick your ass. And this guy, like I said, is huge. And he's like, well, you know, come on. I'm waiting for you, you know, come on up.
In the middle of a show?
It's in the middle of a show. So like I said, this guy was all, I actually found out he got fired after that show anyway. But, so the guy's sitting there yelling.
Dude, that is so wrong.
And he's sitting there, he's like, you know, he's like, I'm going to come up there and kick your ass. Yeah, you know what? I'm waiting for you. He goes, you know what? When you come down out of that spot tire, I'm going to be down at the bottom of the ladder waiting for you. And I'm like, oh, this is going to be great, you know, because it means me. And here I am. I'm at the way far end, and this guy's over here by the ladder. I shut off my light, pack it up, let it cool. I didn't even let it cool down. Ran up the roof, ran across the roof at Star Lake, and I'm down the ladder, and I'm the first one down going, man, I want to see this, you know, because that's you know, I'm like, this is going to be good because I know what's coming down that ladder after me. And so the first one comes down. He goes, you spot 4. I'm like, nope, spot 1. You spot 4? Nope. Spot 2? You spot 4? Nope. Spot 3. And he sees this dude that looks like a tree coming down the ladder. That guy, and he's like this little southern guy, you know. And he like looked at him. I'm like, yeah, man, that's spot 4. If you want to talk to him, he's ready to talk. That guy seen him come down. He took off like a shot, man. So, but that's like, you know, sometimes you get good spotlight operators, sometimes you get bad. I mean, it is what it is.
Well, do some of the bigger bands tour with their own folks.
In Europe, they do. In the States, they don't. In Europe, the bus drivers and truck drivers fill in because they know the show and they're there every day.
Right.
And the languages. So you have the consistent. With America, we just speak English, or Spanish. And,
so even the biggest bands that come to town, who's running the lights up there?
That's local guys. That's union guys. Yeah, union guys are local stagehands. Yeah. So but if you have a good LD, if you have a good lighting director, and he calls it right, then it's understandable. But again, in Europe, you want the same show. You want consistency with language. So the bus drivers and truck drivers still take £50 or €50 to do it. And then you don't have to worry about having somebody can speak French or Spanish or whatever, Italian. So it's a consistent show.
So you're up there in this cage, like someone like a cage, right? And you have these two hands. Is that how they do it? They're still doing it this way, or is it all done by computers now?
No, you manually do it, man. You got the spotlight, and you flip the different levers, and it puts in a different gel, and you turn it on, turn it off. Big iris, small iris. Oh yeah, it's all.
And you're like aiming this thing.
Oh, you're trying to aim it. You're hanging out over a ledge. You're not even in a cage. You're hanging out over a ledge, and you're sitting there going, man. I hope this show doesn't suck. You hope it's interesting so you don't fall asleep. I've actually fallen asleep. I can actually say that I have. I've fallen asleep at shows.
What band, Fred?
Oh my god! And some
Slayer.
Snoring through Slayer, but yeah, I mean, it's those kind of things. So these guys, getting back to TSO, it's never a dull moment. And so when they came through town, I really didn't get to talk to anybody because I was busy.
Right.
And I'm loved so much by everyone that no one came to visit me. And like you said, I am like a recluse. And
you tend to be.
Yeah. And so because when I'm out there, it's all focused on the job. Right. It's all business. Right. Straight ahead business, nose down. And eyes down, and you just. I do my job, and and I've kind of gotten back to that all business kind of thing lately, so it's not bad. But so how was it? Well, let me tell you how it was. You go out in TSO, and like the first day, it's like, yes, we're back. Back on tour. I'm so excited to be back on tour. This is great. And by the last day. You're sitting there going, oh my God, I can't get home fast enough. What? Who's taking me home? An airplane? No, the bus. Oh, it's going right past the house. Oh man, I got to ride the bus. But
that's torture, huh?
Yeah. And but you start off, and this tour is great because you've got like 2-3 weeks of prep, and they have like these massive rehearsals, full scale rehearsals, and so it's always cool. And you hope to work the bugs out. Nah, my bugs are worked out somewhere like December 25th. It's just like, oh wow, just in time to end it. But
I could have been doing this all the way along.
Yeah, and but this year we had a Tesla machine because every great show should have a Tesla machine. And for those who don't know, a Tesla machine is like you see in the Frankenstein movies or like these mad scientist movies. It's kind of like this with lightning bolts coming out of it. And it's got 2 towers on the side, and it's a ball in the middle, and it shoots lightning, and it makes sense off of electric charge or whatever. And you know what? It's oohs and ahs, and you can program it to make different notes so you can play it along to the song, and it plays along to the song, and everybody gets ooh and ah, except for the people that actually have electronic shit to work on. This thing goes off, and my amps or my rig just dies, and I'm like, what the? Wow, man, what happened there? It switched on its own. And I got a guy yelling at me, hey, man, my stuff turned off. Yeah, got me, man. I really don't know what happened, And then it goes off again, and you see the video screen go out, and it's like, wow, man, there's something messed up with the power, I guess. Yeah, this thing every day would shoot off and blow something up. And God bless them, these German guys are like, oh, we could fix that. You could fix that, really. I would love you to come over and fix that for me. And so they bring me these like magnetic donuts, and they put these magnetic donuts over everything. And it's just like, okay, and that's going to fix it? Yes, it's going to fix it. So I'm sitting there, hey, man, it's fixed. Nothing worried. Okay, because last night I was out there in the middle of the spotlight, and I'm standing center stage, and then it went off, and I got nothing. No, dude, don't worry about it. He fixed it. Yeah. And then I got a guy sitting there going, I'm like, no, it's fixed. It's good. It'll work. Don't worry about it. No, you go do your thing. Here it goes. And it's like noodly, 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 stand in the center of the stage in the spotlight, noodly. And then, you know what? And it's always at that time that I'm turned around doing something.
Of course.
You know, or my ear falls out, you know, like my monitor falls out because we all wear in-ears so we can hear the show.
Right. And
I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. You go and hit the button. He's going, what's going on? I'm like, dude, it's not me. It's the Tesla machine. But what's great is this thing would go on. And it was pretty cool. If you go to my Instagram, I got pictures of it and stuff like that. And it looks really cool. And it shoots sparks and stuff like that. But what it was doing to me, it was switching my channels, but it was only on the most important guy I have, the guitar player, Chris Caffrey.
Of course.
And Chris is like, what's happening? I'm like, I'll be honest with you, I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to lie to the guy. I don't know. I don't know why it's doing it. He's like, could you fix it? I'm like, yeah, you know what? It told me it is fixed. You know what? It was not fixed. You know, 9, it is not fixed. 9. And he's like, I don't understand. It works with everything else. Yeah, it works with everything else. Now, here's what was happening too, which is great, is we find this out at the end. So they would fix my stuff. So my stuff wouldn't change. But when they changed the frequency or whatever, it would like blow out like the video screen. So then they had to fix it for the video screen, which would go back and blow out this guy's stuff over here, you know, and it's just like, you've got to be kidding me.
Was it worth it? I mean, for all the aggravation, was that effect worth it?
It was a three song thing. It looks great, and at one point, that's what I said. Would you rather have somebody see that or the guy go up and play guitar? You know what I mean? And so, but here's what the problem with my stuff is I have, and I'm the king of. You know what? Don't buy a new one. I can fix that. You know, I just give me. You know, you get out the Deoxit 5 and spraying it out with like some spray cleaner and stuff like that.
Oh, I watched you work.
I've got duct tape on everything. Duct tape, and electrical tape. Look, if my spit can't fix it, then you know what? You've got bigger problems. And that's what it is, man. I once held together a volume pot with a piece of gum while a guy played it. You know. That's what you get for twisting the volume. It's not even on.
That's rock and roll.
Well, that's, you know, and it was actually Zakk. I did it too. He had this gold guitar. The gold guitar. He's sitting there and he spins the volume knob and he breaks the wire on it. And I'm like, why? He goes, dude, what the fuck, bro? I want to play this. He goes, what happened? I'm like, look, you broke the wire. He goes, dude, fix it. I'm like. He goes, dude, fix it. We're about to go on. I'm like, fix it. I gotta fucking just take another guitar. He goes, no, dude, I want to play the gold one. It's no shit. We were in. I always want to say it was somewhere in Jersey when I did this to Zakk. So he spins the volume knob. It's not even on. Why you're not plugged in? Why are you turning the volume knob? Because he spins it like, you know, it's all control thing, which is really cool. But he was just sitting there just like this, and it spun around, and I'm like, what the hell? The nut must have come loose, and the whole pot spun, and I look at it, and I'm like, I'm plugging in a soldering. I don't have time to fix this thing. I got like a minute, so I got a pair of wire strippers. I'm stripped it off. I'm sitting there going, what the hell? I'm trying to wrap it around there, and it's not staying. I'm like, you're king of duct tape. You know, I'm like, oh, I can't find tape. And all I got, and I shit you not, a piece of gum. Right. And I never chew gum.
Right?
Look, I'm chewing gum today.
This is rare.
And
so,
you know,
you hate gum.
And I had a piece of gum, and I went,
if you end up getting too casual, and bring that mic back a little bit.
If
it's a good story. If it works,
if it makes me laugh, you know what? What have I got to lose? And so I took the wire and I wrapped it around there, and it was still wobbling around. It wasn't, and so I just went meh, meh, and wrapped it around the pole. And so the wire's wrapped around, but now it has a piece of gum on top of the lug to hold it in place. I'm thinking, it's one song. What are the odds? So I'm like, and he goes out and he goes, chunk, chunk. He goes, cool deal, man. You fix it. And I'm like going, please, God, for the love of all that is good in the world, please let this piece of gum be strong enough, stronger than death, to just stay on for one song. stay on that wire. And he's out there playing it. He's like, don't, you know, and it's working. And I'm going, you've got to be kidding me. I'm like, I'm a fool.
That's
you know
black,
what I mean?
but is that Black Label?
Oh yeah, dude, that was, you know, it was guerrilla guitar tech. You know? so you know, the piece of gum worked, and I laugh at it. So getting back to TSO, I've gotten out of my. They've got a little more money. And so I've got tape everywhere. And so, you know, I taped things. And what had happened was I got to the point where I'm at that song and I'd have to hold the button, like the switcher button on the entire song so this Tesla machine, this giant lightning bolt won't shut off my stuff. And I'm like, well, you got to be kidding me. I'm standing there like this. And they're like, hey, we need this. I'm like, hey, I got to stand here for an entire song with my finger on the button and that's what I had to do. And I said, hey, look, can you get me another switcher? There's none available. There's none available. What do you mean there's none available? We searched Amazon. We searched Musician's Friend. We searched Sweetwater. There's none available. They're on back order. I'm like, they're on back order? It's a switcher. Just find me a switcher. And they're like, so I'm the king of fixing everything, and I'm trying to fix this thing. So literally, I took it apart. I sprayed out. I looked at this, you know, and I put the screws back in it, and it's just like, man, you know, and I'm not thinking about this, what I'm seeing. And, well, actually, I take it back. I sprayed it off in the buttons at first, you know, from the front. I didn't take it apart. And I finally took it apart. And then I realized what was happening. And it's awesome because this stuff's been there. And I have never had a reason to take this apart. But someone had taken the power cable and coiled it up. Inside, they cut a hole because there was like excess cable hanging out, and they cut it up and they put it inside and made probably, well, I'm going to guess was like an electromagnet kind of thing because there's like metal and a coil, and there was like a screw or something in the middle of it, you know. And so this thing, and it's not shielded. And what it had done was it was just on this particular unit. When that thing would send off a certain signal, it would energize this. I don't know. I guess I'm not an electrical guy. I don't even know what I'm talking about. All I know is when I fixed that, it was fixed. So I'm like, oh, so that must be the problem. And I put a piece of gum on it so you wouldn't do it again. So. But and that's a true story. Then they buy me a new switcher, and everything was happy. And then I was, you know, able to go around and do my hijinks.
Did you run into any of your old touring mates on this tour? Who'd you see on this tour?
You know, I see a lot of people like on this tour. You know, I tour with my buddy Tony from Megadeth, and you know, and these guys. You know, and these guys. TSO is like the all-star game of roadies. You know, Tony was with Megadeth, Galen was with, you know, Springsteen and stuff like that. So you get the best guys out there, you know, and it's always great to, you know, to go into these rehearsals because we do the East and West Coast together. So you see the other musicians, you see the other techs, and, you know, It's nice to get together. After living on a bus for 2 months, you're like sitting there going, man, if you rattle my curtain one more time, or if you make noise when I'm trying to sleep one more time, you know, so it gets, you know, it's tour, but you know,
you still keep getting the East Coast gig, don't you?
Yeah, I like the East Coast. I do the East Coast. You know,
it's a little colder though.
Yeah. The West Coast. Here, get this, West Coast. They do the West Coast. It makes sense, right? East Coast does the East Coast. You know what? West Coast also gets Arizona, New Mexico, Florida, Louisiana, Florida, Georgia. That's right. I said it twice. Florida twice. Yeah, Florida's not West Coast. You know what TSO East gets? New York, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Virginia. Couple things up there in the Northeast. I think we get as high as New Hampshire or Boston or whatever. But Manchester, but yeah, man, it's just, you know, it's
in December.
Oh yeah, in November. So we started in Green Bay. There's one thing I hate, folks: snow. And the one year I didn't take a jacket with me because I'm thinking, what, you know, they give us you usually get a really cool tour swag jacket on TSO. I'm thinking, you know what, they're gonna give us a cool jacket. What the hell do I need to take a jacket for? I mean, where am I really going other than, you know, 100 feet into the venue from the bus? Idiot. I go out there, and it was like freezing. They didn't give us our tour jacket till like the end of the tour. Here's your tour jacket. You know what? That would be great in November.
Of course.
You know?
Of course.
And I don't have a jacket, and I'm too much of an idiot because I'm going, you know what? Any day they're going to give us that jacket. They're going to give us that jacket any day now.
Talk about what a typical day is for you on TSO, because then I want to do a little comparison to maybe taking it all the way back to Black Label. Just do the whole. But a typical day for you.
Oh, typical day.
Let's say you guys roll in, like you arrive in the city.
Yeah.
Do you arrive the night before generally, or do you arrive the morning?
No, we ride in the morning. So, and I'll tell you why we arrive in the morning.
Okay.
On TSO, you want a TSO tour.
I want a TSO day for Fred Kowalo.
TSO day for Fred Kowalo.
A show day.
Show day. Show day, I roll out of bed, grumpy, somewhere, because I haven't slept. Usually I sleep really good on the bus, but it's the amount of sleep time. Everybody starts to get up about 5
in the morning.
Yeah, 5 in the morning.
Is the bus already there?
The bus will be there, on time, 5 in the morning or whatever, And we get up, and so the people start stirring, and it's like, I gotta get up here in a minute. Day usually starts at 6 o'clock, 5:30, 6 o'clock. You're up, running around.
Okay.
I try to wait as long as I possibly can to get off that bus, and which was really funny. This one time this year, and I'll get into that. But about 6 o'clock, they start loading stuff in. Around 7:30, 8. It depends on. I mean, there's like 18 to 20 some trucks. I can't remember how many we had.
Okay.
So they all unload. I'm the last truck. But you got to be there just in case you are the 17th truck.
Right.
Which is really cool. And they take my stuff off the truck. We unload it. We send it, wherever it's got to go. And now I've got, depending on how cold it is, frozen guitars. And guitars and cold aren't the greatest thing in the world.
No, they're not.
And so what I cheat. What I usually do is I went out and I bought these little space heaters, and I'll pop them off. I crack my doors.
Mr. Buddies.
Yeah. so I get these space heaters, man, and I'll put them like down and let them blow into the things.
Okay.
Or if I put them on I'll have like a little desktop one, and I put it on my road box, and it's great until they fry, because they it's like I overuse them. It's just, oh my god. And I really work these things out, and so I'll go through a couple of them a tour, but. Again, king of all bad decisions. I'm an idiot. Sometimes I just sitting there enjoying my heat. I'll put the strings on with the heater blowing.
Okay.
Guess what really doesn't want to cooperate? Because now you've got cold guitar, warm strings. Going to throw it back into the somewhat cold normal atmosphere, and so that guitar I just put in tune is all out of whack.
Oh, no doubt.
And it's crazy. It's crazy because where I'm at on the stage also is colder because I'm down on the ice. And It's usually old hockey arenas, and even though they put like that homosode on it, it's still cold.
Right.
And then they get up on stage with all the explosions and fire and stuff like that, and by the time Chris runs from one side to the other with all kinds of flames chasing them, it's out of tune. And it's what it is. I mean,
it's wood.
I'm sticking it on the stage, and there's a 20-foot flame of jet, and you could feel it in the arena all the way in the back when it's like wow, is that imagine being 5 feet away from it. Yeah, so these guitars get all out of whack, But so I try to prep for that all day, knowing that that's going to happen. Somewhere around noonish. We'll do like a line check, and then I'll go to lunch.
Okay.
Here's what's messed up about me. You couldn't get me to juice a vegetable. I'm like, juicing a vegetable? You got to be crazy. I do have breakfast. I forgot to mention I sit in breakfast, and what I usually do is just like take a cup, because you never know when you get caught. I don't want to take a plate. For some reason, I take a cup of everything. It's like, oh, a soup? You want a bowl of soup? No, put it in this cup, So I got this cup that I'm walking around with. Oh, bacon? Oh, yeah. Throw about 5 pieces of bacon on a plate in this cup, So I walk around with my cup of bacon, my cup of soup, or my cup of juice. I discovered juicing on tour.
Oh, juicing. And it's great, except for nobody tells me the proper amount of things to put in there. And I got hair blowing in my face. And I got to say, I don't know how to do anything for myself. You know what I mean? I don't. So you bought a juicer?
No, I don't have a juicer. They have it in catering.
Okay.
But I'm the idiot that goes in and cuts like 12 carrots and goes, dumps them all in at once. Hey, this thing's smoking. I don't think it's like, he's like, oh, you know, but it's like, well, yeah, somebody stuffed like 12 carrots in there. It's like, what an asshole, you know, look at this thing. It's like, that guy's a jerk. I don't know who it was, you know, some guy walked in and he took off. I was just trying to help, you know.
That's great.
Yeah, so you're sitting there with like all these carrots and a juicer, you know, dumping them out. But that's my morning. Breakfast, guitars. I do a breakfast, or I do guitars until it moves, and then I go and juice again for lunch. And my juicing at lunch consists of. Here's the secret to juicing. Here's the secret to a good juice: carrots, celery.
Mm-hmm. Jim Beam.
A little bit of Jack Daniels, a little bit of vodka. Apple cider vinegar takes the weight off, but so I do that. But you have to throw in ginger. My God, they get these like roots of ginger. I don't know how to judge things. Something like that of ginger looks good. It's not. It's amazing how, you know, you're at a Chinese restaurant or Japanese restaurant and you're eating sushi. And it's like, wow, this is really cool. This ginger is fantastic. It doesn't taste the same. It's not pink. It's a root. And you sit there and it's just like, wow, that's a lot of ginger, you know. And you're sitting there and it's just like, wow, that you know what? I made it. I'm going to drink it. It's great. I found out how to counteract it. Apples. You put the apples in. Apples sweeten everything. And then I throw like a whole lemon or a whole lime in there. And everybody's going, who's the asshole that ate all the fruit? Because now that I learned how to juice and berries, they like put these cups of berries out. Well, you know what? They got more. No, but yeah, so I've got like blackberries, raspberries, lemons, limes, apples, carrots, celery.
Just a tad amount of sugar in there, Fred.
And a bunch of ginger. And I just sit there. But I also discovered something else. It's good for your heart, and it's good for your muscles and stuff like that. Beets. But no one told me how many beets to put in. I hate beets.
I do too.
I think Frank Compart, when I was in Australia, tried to get me to eat a beet on a sandwich. And I'm like, you're nuts. I am not eating. He's like, oh, make the taste good. I'm like, no, you know what? Maybe you. No. My buddy Sergey and these people. I go to these countries. They try to get me to eat local food. Raj, fucking no. I'm not having any more local drinks. The other day, I was in Moscow. My buddy Sergey. He goes, oh no, you have to eat the herring after you do the shot. I'm like, oh, eat the herring. So I do the shot, and he gives me. I'm like, I puke on this bar floor. I'm like, what is that? He goes, it's a herring, and they all like laugh at me. I'm like, no,
I mean a fish.
Yeah, oh yeah. So you know, I don't know what's going on with these things. So I don't know what to do with the beets, you know, like Frank and the beets. I'm not eating that beet on a sandwich. Are you out of your mind?
Yeah.
But you know what? You put them in your juicer.
Yeah, they're sweet, supposedly.
They're good.
Yeah.
But when you eat like 4 beets, and everybody's like, how many beets did you eat? And it's like 4. And like, are you okay, man? Yeah. You know what? The same color that goes into you comes out of you. And you're sitting there going, wow, that's really weird. I never saw that or thought about that. And it's that kind of color, yeah, beetish in color, and you're sitting there going, wow, man, that's nuts. But I feel healthy. I'm ready to go do more guitars. So you go, and I said I wasn't going to be silly this show. And so you go out there and they move the stage, and it's quite a production. This whole giant, massive stage is built down that end of the arena, and they move it down this end of the arena.
Really?
And it rolls, and they get like 60 people around it to roll.
It's crazy.
And it rolls into place, and And they go, okay, go. Now, everybody else is already in place. They've got like these little condos with floors on them. Not my side of the stage because I'm on the floor. And because my stuff can't roll. I'm the last one to set up, and I've got the most people to do. I've got 5 people.
Okay.
I do Caffrey, I do Roddy the violin player, I do Tony the bass player, and I've got Kayla and Dustin playing guitars.
Wait. Violin player.
Oh, yeah. I change violin strings
You
occasionally.
set up violins.
I don't. You know what? I know Roddy's a sweetheart for doing this. Roddy's like, oh no, it's great. You did a great job. And it's just like, yeah. And it's opposite. The little string on it is the E string, and then this, it's instead of EADG, it's GA or it's GDAE. And the G's the fat string, and it's just like, man, I could never, here, you know what? Here's a tuner, I'm gonna give it, I'm gonna give it a college try,
That is great.
And so,
That's great.
but so I do all that. So I got 5 people to do, and I'm the last person to get set in place because Pyro's got all these hoses that got to go in place. So I'm sitting there going, you guys done? And the Pyro guys, they're like, no, you got a couple more hoses. And it's just like, sitting there waiting. Meanwhile, everybody else is starting line check, and I've got my thumb up my butt going, I'm waiting on Pyro. So it's a very stressful day. And
it's not even showtime yet.
It's not even showtime. No, it's not even sound check. It's not even showtime. But I gotta hustle up and do this. And of course, I play the same songs every day. That's just my thing.
But sound check though, like do you get all this done? Then you have a break before sound check?
Everybody else does, but I don't. I've got 5 people to do. Now, I actually, so my days are continuous,
They're
man.
full.
One thing runs into the other,
Yeah.
and that's why it's tough to have people come out. It's tough to, entertain, because
Yeah.
but we'll do like a line check. People will go eat, but I usually just sit around and try to get more guitars done. They come in for a sound check if they have time, or it's time for the first show. We do 2 shows a day sometimes.
Wow.
So you do the show, 2.5, 240 of torture, and you just pray that the Tesla doesn't blow everything up on the next song. It's just like you're sitting there holding the button going, and
2 shows a day.
Yeah, and I figure that's 5 hours.
So what's the first show start? 4 or 5? 3
o'clock sometimes.
Okay.
4. So it just changes, like 3:30, 3:30, 4, and then the second one is like 7, 7:30, 8.
Okay.
And then but you have like an hour or 2 in between.
Wow.
To eat. Guess who gets the 2 guitars? For the next show. And that's what I do. I mean, it's nonstop. You do that. They do the loadout. I go to the bus, and it's really funny because back in the day, I was fun. I guess you can call it fun. I had a good time. I enjoyed hanging out on the bus. I enjoyed doing things roadies do. Sitting around drinking or whatever, telling stories.
Right.
And now I'm the first one in the bunk. I'm old.
All of you are probably old now.
But here's what's great is, I get off, I go take a shower or whatever, and I run to the bus and I climb in my bunk and I hide. And it was so great that like at one point last year, somebody was like, why are you on our bus? I'm like, what do you mean why I'm on the bus? Wait, you ride our bus? I'm like, yeah, I've been riding your, since the tour began. We're like 3 weeks into this, and I've never seen you. I'm like, yeah, I live there. I
live there.
Straight to my bunk, the messy bunk. Look at that, And they were laughing because they have like junk bunks. I keep everything in my bunk. I've got my computer bag. If you got.
So explain to our audience what's it like in that bunk. Like generally, if you have a newer tour bus on these bigger acts, you have accommodations. Good accommodations.
Our new tour bus was cool. We had a shower in there.
What is the bunk like though?
The bunk's cool. It's exactly what you think it'd be like sleeping in a coffin. With a if you ever wanted to do that, a coffin with a side curtain. It's a sideways curtain. And here's the thing, I always get the top, and because I shit you not, I always think that what happens if they just doom, 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 fall down. I'm like, well, you know what? I'd rather be up on the top and fall out, 6 feet, which I have done. But so I get the top bunk, and it's cool. I mean, it's a little more sway up there, but it's
like TV up there.
Yeah, we got TVs in there. Everybody watches their computers now, their laptops. And you got Wi-Fi on the bus,
right,
and stuff like that. So it's really cool. But they all laugh. It's like, my God, he's got At one point, I used to have like a full bar in my bunk, Now it's like, look at all those bottles of water. Look at those flavored waters he's got up there, And chips. I've got all my chips for chip reviews.
Chip reviews. I saw you continue that during
Jonathan
TSO.
Garcia gave me he goes, hey man, this guy, he's a friend of mine from Virginia. He's like, hey man, I brought you some chips. I'm like, oh, cool, man. So you can do some chip reviews. Like 30 different types of chips. And it was great. It's like I got all these chips. And I'm sitting there going, and you could hear me like these guys are going, you know what? You told me to shut up and quit. I can hear you rattling those chip bags up there. I was sitting there eating chip bags. I'm supposed to be doing reviews with
and
these
all
things.
these are on your Instagram page,
Oh,
right?
yeah. And I'm supposed to be doing like chip reviews on Instagram with these chips. I'm sitting there going, oh, these are great, And so you got to try them first, because I used to actually open the chip on the Instagram on the air to do it, and then just sit around. No, I don't do it anymore. I try the chips. I'm like, oh, these are really, because I got those chicken chips. Oh my God, I love those chicken chips. And it's like sitting there, and I'm like, oh, I've got to do a chicken chip. But I'm like, oh man, I ate the entire.
Is that a Canadian thing, chicken chips?
No, it's a U.S. thing. It's somewhere, and it's a protein chip, and they're awesome.
Okay.
So instead of getting carbs, you're getting full protein.
The nutritional things I learned on this show from you, unbelievable.
So by the time the bus leaves,
yes,
it's 1 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
And you're getting back up at 5. So
they're going to the next city.
Going to the next
now, what
city.
about an off day? Like, let's say there's a long bus ride.
It is a long bus ride. It's like I don't know who books these tours, but it's usually a long bus ride, in your bus. And I'll tell you what, man, I will sleep for 12. Sometimes I've actually slept for 16 hours, and you get up and go
on your off day.
On my off day, like that first off day, because you're working 100 hours, 20 hours time, on a 5-day.
Do you have responsibilities on your off day at all?
No. My responsibility is like wake up,
sleep,
maybe,
breathe.
Yeah, breathe. maybe sometimes I shave. It's just occasionally I'm like, yeah. No.
What about comparing? So. Again, you've toured with some big acts, big full productions, Megadeth, Alice in Chains, Shinedown, and others. We'll talk about In Excess in a second. But before all of this, you were part of the band of marauders known as Black Label Society.
The Doom Crew.
So when you started and you were touring with them, what was a typical day like?
Typical.
And the differences, right?
Yeah. Typical crew day was
So tell the audience when this was. This is late 90s.
Nah, it's we started in the late 90s. Our heyday was in the 2000s, and we'd be out on Ozfest doing double duty. Me and Zakk would be doing Aussie and Black Label, so I was lucky enough to work with both. Typical day. Dude, get the fuck up.
You were hungover.
Dude, get the fuck up. Sitting there rattling my curtain. What? We're here. All right, man. I'll be in a second. Get out. Get ready to go in the venue. You're not at the venue. You're at a liquor store. You're at a liquor store or a beer distributor. Dude, I need some help bringing this shit in. Back to the bus.
That is great.
Or the one day we were at like a Home Depot, and he bought a grill, and it's just, well, actually we weren't at the Home Depot. We were up the street about a mile from the Home Depot at a rest area, and he walked back to the Home Depot and drugged the grill back. So we have, so you start your day with, you're at the beer distributor, liquor store, or a grocery store, because you're buying stuff to barbecue out with the grill that we just bought. He just bought, which was awesome. It was never a dull moment. You get to the venue late. You're supposed to be here at 8. Yes, I know. It's 11:30. I'm ready. Forgive me. All right. So you start loading the stuff in, and it was a busy day for those kind of things too, because again, it's a festival setting. You go in and it's the same thing. It's sound checks. You're done, and then you're done for the day.
Once you set up,
then you got to find something to do. But with Black Label, it was Black Label usually played first, so you'd have something to do. A show to get ready for. So I never really got a break on those shows either. Everybody thought, oh, he's out fucking off, oh, he's out living. No. I did a Black Label show. Zakk Wylde touched a guitar, and the strings are now corroded, and they're broken, and they will never play the same again. And I have a show tonight, and I have to change those strings by tonight and get this guitar in tune. He would touch a guitar one time, and there would be like this crust. And it was just like, wow, man, it's like the alien in Alien, like you touched it and like its acid comes out. It's like, dude, check it out. It's like, now I got to change them all again. And you can't change just one or two. You have to change them all,
Oh shit, that's funny.
And so I mean, that's what I always laughed. Everybody's like, dude, you must be having so much fun out there, I mean, no, not really. It's a job, Everybody's like, but you're always drunk. Yeah, I'm always drunk because I'm trying to cope with, Oh my God!
Madness.
Yeah, it's just like this is crazy.
This is
I need
Zack's
a drink.
Drinking days.
Yeah. This is back in the drinking days, and we had a blast on it. But so somewhere in the middle of the day, we'd have the show with Black Label, and then I actually would try to change some strings or whatever in between, and then you prep for an Aussie show and come out. But it was nonstop. We had fun, and. I like to call it playing through. I'm just going to play through to tomorrow. I just pick up another bottle and just start drinking, man. And that was, I was young. Guess who's old now? Pap's old,
It's like 20 years ago.
Oh, yeah. You know what? It was 20 years ago. And the thing is, I mean, and I treated it as a business then, but it was fun. Now I look at it as it's straightforward. It's a business. This is it. It's like,
What about when they also do a tour by themselves? The club tours.
The club tours.
We're not talking big production, friends. We're talking about playing clubs, couple hundred people, maybe.
It was great.
What were your responsibilities then, though, besides acquiring liquor?
Acquiring liquor. Me and Tim Boland did everything. And it's just like, we did the lights. It was great because we'd have like these, it's not like that anymore. They've got real stuff now. But like extension cords for like lights, and like running, and like smoke machine. I remember in Orlando, Florida, he's like, I need more smoke. And I'm like, just like, more smoke. And I'm like, more smoke. And I'm sitting there trying to, I was doing Nick and Zakk, sitting there and I'm trying to, more smoke. I said, all right, here you go. And I just remember, for the love of all that's good in the world, turn off the smoke machine. And then I come behind the amps. I can't see. I'm behind the amps trying to tune guitars, and I'm trying doing this one hand,
Shit,
and it actually got me in practice for TSO, where I'm doing punches with one hand and tuning guitars with that. And I'm like running the smoke machine for to turn off and I look around the amps, and you can't see a thing. It's like it filled the entire club up with smoke, and I'm going, he's like, turn off the smoke. What's wrong with you? It's just like, dude, I'm behind here. I can't see. It's just like one of those things. But with Black Label, it was. It was fun. Zakk made it fun, and you had fun with it.
Yeah.
And
and all of you are on one bus.
Oh yeah, we were all on one bus, and that was a thing. Because if you went back to the bus, you're either watching like The Last Temptation of Christ, you're playing Axis and Allies, or you're playing like what was it, Nintendo, or I guess
whatever it was back then,
whatever it was back, PlayStation. And the thing was, it was great is if you played football with Zakk, dude, I'm gonna kick your ass. No, you're not. I'm just taking the 74 Steelers, 78 Steelers, and there's no way you're gonna win, dude. Any team. I'll be the Giants. The Giants. Come on, man. I got the 78 Steelers. What do you got? The Giants? Dude, it's not even a real team. It's like Pop Warner Pee-wee. Dude,
that's
kick
right.
your ass. And so, you don't even try with the 78 Steelers. It's like Bradshaw to Swan, Bradshaw to Star. You could throw it this way down there. Swan with a leaping catch. It's just like, he's like, and he's sitting there, he's like throwing the controller. He's all mad. It's just like, you want to play again? It's just like, and he makes you play. He's like, you know what, I'm going to play till I win. I'm going to kick your ass this time. And you beat him again, 78 Steelers. It's like, I'm going to go the Dallas Cowboys. 78 Steelers. Winner. Hey, Swan with a diving catch. Bradshaw going deep. Harris runs over, everybody. And it's just like, he's like, he throws the controller. He's like, we're playing again, It's just like, nah, man, I'm tired, man. I'm going to go to bed. No, we're playing again. And don't you let me win. No, I'm not going to let you win because I'm just as intense as you. I don't lose, Swan, oh, what a great catch. It's like, and then that's when the game gets turned off, It's like, it's just like, you got to get out of there before you get killed. But that was like, it was like an every day. We played because we knew all the wrestlers, and we'd play like WWF,
right.
And we'd have our own characters, and we'd have our own entrance songs. But with him, it's great because you'd have to dance and be your guy as you came in, if you come walking in there, and it was just, it was fun, we had a blast, and I got to be honest, I haven't had, there's never been a tour quite like that,
okay.
where it's just a silliness, I remember the one bus driver. We had studio wrestling. We were bored. Had our own studio wrestling inside the bus, And you're throwing around a 200-pound man, and he's slamming off the wall of a moving bus. And the bus driver, the grown man's going, I'm going to have to come back here. I'm going to kick somebody's ass. Mikey's yelling back there. He's like, what the hell's going on back there? You're throwing somebody. You get clotheslined down the hallway. The one year we had pellet guns, and you've got targets sitting down at the end of the hall. Don't stick your head out of bunk alley on that one. Sitting there with pellet guns. And poof, it's like shooting bottles in the hall. It's like, oops, sorry, we'll clean that up. It was fun. That's what rock and roll to me was. And that's how I started. And I tried to keep that up.
Well, look how different it is now, though.
Oh, it's a business. I'm the first one in my bunk.
So when you were done with Black Label and you took the next gig, was it Shinedown?
It was Shinedown.
And they were still kind of in their infancy. They had just kind of hit. They were just starting to hit. But did you notice an initial difference right away in the way Black Label ran compared to Shinedown?
Oh, yeah. I mean, Shinedown, they were young. They hadn't seen... they were excited to be out there. They were their own different band. You know what I mean? The record
company was giving them money at the time, right? They had a deal. They
had a couple platinum albums.
Was the operation? Talk about the operational differences for you between the two tours.
It came out to be. I was doing less work with Jay, and I loved Jason to death. We had fun, and Jason had actually, like I said, he had seen us at Black Label before he was anybody, before he hit it big. And so he kind of knew what the zoo that I was coming out of. Okay. And he knew what the zoo that I could bring with me. I'm the devil. I'm the devil. I can talk you into anything. And these cats, we'd put back a few bottles a day, and we had fun. We tried to have fun and go along these things, and it was a little easier, because I was down to just the one guy,
right?
And Jay and I had a good rapport as well. We actually still do.
Was the equipment better? Just because
it was different. Now that's the thing, man. Is with Zakk, it's a pedal board and amps, plug and play. Jay had a little switchers, and he called it his NASA rig. And I laugh at this, man. I came in to fix this rig, and to finish up this tour or whatever, and I do everything myself. I don't let anybody touch anything.
Right.
And I remember this kid. It was in Atlanta, and this kid's like, "Hey, man, can I give you some help?" I'm like, "Nah, man, I'm good. I got this." He's like, "Hey, man, can I give you some help?" And I was packing the stuff up. I'm like, "Nah, dude, I have to do it myself. I know everything goes." I get this call on the walkie-talkie over the radio, and they said, "Hey, man, we need you in the production office. Can you come in here?" I said, "Yeah, I'll come in there." I said to this kid, "Hey, man, you really want to help me? Coil up these cables." I said, "All right." So this kid's like, "Man, okay, cool. I'll coil up these cables." So I run into the production office, and it takes about a minute. And I come back out. And the kid goes, "Hey, man, here's those cables." I said, "Oh, great." He goes, "And here's all these cables, too. Where do these go?" He had unplugged every connection in the rig. And I'm going, "Wait, what?" He goes, I just got there. I didn't label anything, I'm like going, And, my mom, it was Atlanta, Georgia. I still remember. And I'm sitting there going, you've got to be kidding me, man. Unplugged everything. And I didn't know how the rig worked. So it was an upgrade. It was like a switching system, and it's just like, man. So I learned how to do that. So everything, I always try to learn stuff. And even going on back to Alice in Chains, I'm doing basses. It's plug and play,
Right.
William is plug and play with Alice. Going on to Megadeth, these cats all used racks. And I'm going, welcome to the, 21st century. I mean, I don't know what the hell I'm doing, And so I had to do that. And then Broderick got the fractal in there, and we started learning fractals. And I still do, I prefer a fractal now because you do so much with them. Mm-hmm. But I'm not the kind of guy to get into like the little tweaking nitty gritty thing. I'm like, oh, sounds like a Marshall. There it is. Beautiful.
Yeah, because I think when you start over analyzing, like you're losing something of the essence of rock and roll.
Exactly.
Aren't you?
Plug in a guitar, and play. And that's how I always approached it. And that's where I'm more comfortable with.
Being that you're used to these big operations now, and the machine, being a part of that whole machine and finding your space and knowing what you're supposed to do and what you're not supposed to do and where you can hide and where you have to show up. Could you ever go back and do another band or another arrangement like that early Black Label tour? You're kind of spoiled right now, right?
I am spoiled.
Spoiled.
I'm like, you know what? I'm not leaving my house until you show me this, Show me this in my mind. You know what? Everything's negotiable.
Well, say the money was there, but the
money's
there,
but
the equipment, the itinerary, the accommodations may not be what you're accustomed to. But the money was there. Would you do it?
Depends on how long it was. Depends on who it was.
Okay.
For friends, you get the friends and family discount. You know what I mean? I'm willing to sacrifice a little bit for friends. If it was like, Joe Schmo, going out on his first tour, and he says, hey, look, I'll give you this, but you got to drive the van. I'm like, yeah, van, huh? Got to drive it.
Now, were you with Black Label at all when you were actually riding in a van the first tour? Was there any van action for you?
No, it's always been bus for me. Okay. That's what all these guys are like, because you don't know what it's like to ride in a van. You know what? There's a reason why. I knew my shit when I came in. I didn't have to. You know what I mean?
If my memory serves me correctly, you once were lamenting about a particular tour bus that was given to you with Black Label either in Europe or somewhere.
The last available bus in Europe. We wrote Folsom County Prison on the outside of this bus, and we pull up the Marshall, and it says Folsom. I mean, we actually wrote on the
Marshall
bus.
amplification in England.
Oh yeah, in England. We drive up to the gates, and they're like, I bet you boys need some clothes and some food. And you opened this.
They said that to you.
You opened this bus up. It stunk. We got in there. The toilets were overflowing because it had just come off another tour, and I guess the toilets weren't working. This was the last available bus in Europe, and it was hideous. There was dirty dishes.
Was it from
food.
The 80s or something? Or?
It was, it just was a used, dirty bus. It was filthy. And we're sitting there, and they had to have gotten a great deal on this bus. And we're sitting there, it doesn't get any more Black Label than this. It's just you've got to be kidding me.
Did the AC work?
No, fuck that. You're in England. No, nothing works. You're in Europe. There's no AC. It's like, mate, roll down the window. But it was great because, you get different kinds of bus drivers in Europe, and they sleep in the bus. They've had this little compartment that they sleep in the bus for just the bus drivers.
Interesting.
Oh yeah. So me, I'm an asshole, and if something doesn't go my way, I throw a temper tantrum, or I pout. I don't pout, or I pout, or I've got it, and or I find some subtle way to get back at you. And if you're sleeping and you piss me off, and I run, it's
Oh, that's so nice of you.
Just pound real hard, just leave. And
that's so wrong.
It is. But so one of my favorite things is in Europe though is I'll sit in the front of the bus. They're double deckers, and they have a front lounge where you can the driver's underneath you, and you're sitting on the front lounge. And I would sit and say, I never expected to do this for a living. I thought my one trip to Europe was going to be my only trip to Europe.
Right.
And so I wanted to see everything.
Right.
So I stayed up. I'd stay up all night just sitting there with a bottle of Jägermeister going, oh, wow, check it out. The sun's coming up. Oh, that must be Germany. Oh, Germany looks just like Monongahela. It's just like, it's like, looks just like home. It's, oh, check it out. Look, we're in France. Oh, this is great. Wow, man. And so I would do that. I still do it now. And I remember we were in Belgium. We were in a city. And I'm thinking, man, you should get some sleep before. And like Belgium and Europe, these streets are like, you see those little mini cars. Yeah, they're built for those. They're like paths. They're like bike paths. The streets are so narrow, you can barely get these buses around.
These bus drivers are skilled then.
They're very skilled. And I remember going and getting my bunk, and I just gotten up out of the front lounge window.
Okay.
And I got up and I'm walking to my. And I hear, Tim, we seem to have a bit of a problem. And I turn around, and there's an entire building. Top of the ledge of the building crushed the front of the bus into the window where I was just sitting, like
we're taking you out
like 15 seconds ago. Hopefully I would have been awake enough to see it coming. It was a building, but evidently
it depends on how much Jägermeister you had.
Exactly. I got up out of the seat because I was falling asleep, and I got up out of there, and it just crushed into the whole window. But it's that English, Tim.
Yeah.
We seem to have a bit of a problem.
There's no alarmist with any of them, right?
I've seemed to have run into a building. And it's just like, really? You did kind of run? You ran fucking Folsom Prison bus into the building? And it's not a problem? I guess not.
So they replaced the bus? What happened?
Yeah, well, they replaced the windshield and shit like that. It just took out the windshield, Oh, a little duct tape.
Oh, my
Cheerio.
God.
It's not like the first window I broke on a bus, It's like, but... yeah, but it's definitely different, and that was the Folsom County prison bus, and it was terrible. It was terrible. And when I say it's terrible, it was terrible. It was the last available bus in Europe. They didn't have any more. None. It just...
Okay, you just came back from NAMM, is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Now, for those who are just hearing this for the first time, NAMM is the National Association of Music Merchants. It's basically the biggest trade show that the guitar and musical instrument society has, where all the manufacturers come, and it's usually the big one's held in Anaheim, and the smaller one is in the summer. It's held at Nashville, and the summer one primarily is a guitar show, naturally with Gibson probably anchoring it being in Nashville. So I've gone to a couple over the years, but you've gone to a shit ton of them.
I've been to a shit ton of them.
A shit ton. And the great thing about NAMM is people like to go that are not related to the music business. They try to get a ticket somewhere because they want to see rock stars walking around and meet all these cool people. And those are the people that shouldn't be in the fucking place. Now, that's a terrible thing to say, I know, because music fans are music fans. But I found out when I was there, the artists even say that the whole mechanism gets a little gummed up because you got people walking around that really are not in the business.
They're fans, and they want to meet rock stars, and they want to meet... I always laugh. I do a booth out there for Tone Pros, bridges, and tailpieces. And we have Elliot Easton this year from the Cars. And we had Dave Amato and from REO Speedwagon, and Derek St. Holmes from Ted Nugent, Doug Aldrich. Mm-hmm. And Hal Lynch from Dire Straits. They're all out there. But these cats are standing in line, they're waiting in line to get pictures with these rock stars. And everybody's going, hey, man, you the guy from Rockstar? And I feel like a dolt because I'm taking pictures. And these guys are like, what, and these guys are sitting there.
They're accomplished musicians, Fred.
Yeah, they're sitting there going, it's like, and I'm off taking a picture with somebody, and it's like, hey, man, you want to go?
But that's cool, though.
Go see these guys? Yeah,
That's cool.
It's
That's
all right.
cool.
But I got more people coming to the booth to visit me because they're fans than to actually check out, the product. So, but it happens like that with everything. You get the guys that are like pick collectors. You get the guys that are autograph collectors, and you can run into your favorite rock star there. And it's really cool.
It is cool, and I don't want to minimize it. I mean, you remember when we were doing Washburn, I went out 3 or 4 years in a row, and it was awesome. I got there's a picture over there of Paul Stanley and myself there at one of the shows. It was an opportunity to not just spend time with Paul and do some design stuff and all that stuff, but just meeting people that I would have never met
exactly
prior.
And that's I remember my first time out there, and I was just like, you know, I met Nikki Sixx, and I met CeCe DeVille. I met, you know, these cats that were like, you know, the music when I grew up, and it's just like, wow. And they talked to me, and it was great, you know.
Yeah.
It's just like I met Coolio one year out there, and I sat around, I talked to him. You know, it's like, man, me and Coolio hanging out. You know, and he stopped and he talked to me. He talked to me for like 5 minutes, and I'm like,
it's very cool.
You know. Yeah, and it was awesome. And so all these cats from different genres, they're all there hanging out. And it's really, really, it's a really cool thing. Now, one of my first NAMM shows, I, believe it or not, had to go in as a fan.
Ooh, he's one of them.
I was one of them. And back in the day, it wasn't so strict. You could get a badge from anyone, and companies would print up these extra badges.
I think that almost encouraged more people to show.
Yeah,
before it became a thing. Would you say?
and that's exactly it. So if you couldn't get in, you call up Marshall and say, "Hey, look, I need a badge." And of course, it's Zakk Wylde, so of course they're going to get Zakk Wylde a badge, you know.
Yeah.
And Zack's like, "Dude, fucking check it out. I need a badge. And I need 2 more, one for Freddy, one for fucking Nick." So all right, cool. So we go to get our badges. There's a badge for Zakk Wylde. Mm-hmm. There's a badge for Tony Iommi. And there's a badge for Ted Nugent. And that's the names on these badges. And Zack's like, "Dude, I want Ted Nugent." And he goes to NAMM, he takes the Ted Nugent badge. And Nick goes, "I want Zakk Wylde." And I'm like, "So I'm Tony Iommi." It's just no shit. And we go to NAMM, and we have all got fake badges, fake names. And we could just walk in there. It's cool. Who are you? I'm Tony Iommi. You know, dude, check it out. I'm Ted Nugent. Down Zakk. You know, dude, I'm fucking Ted Nugent. Don't call me Zakk. You know, so I got Nick. I'm Zakk Wylde. You know, blah blah. And we're walking out, and I buy a guitar there. I bought the shark guitar there. I got this guitar. It's shaped like a shark and stuff like that. And
you really weren't allowed to buy anything there.
You could. But you had to wait till like the last day.
That's right.
That's what it was. It was the last day.
Because they don't want to take that shit home.
Yeah.
The manufacturers don't want to haul that stuff back.
Exactly. So I buy this guitar shaped like a shark, and I'm walking out the door, and the woman's got to match her sales receipt up with her badge. And she doesn't even look at my sales receipt. Zakk goes through as Ted Nugent. Nick goes through as Zakk Wylde. And this African-American woman looks at me and goes, "You ain't no Tony Iommi." I'm like, "Excuse me?" And she's like, "You heard me. You ain't no Tony Iommi." She goes, "I know me some Black Sabbath, and you ain't no Tony Iommi. Now give me that. Who gave you that badge?" And she's like, "Hey, dude, there was
for her.
There was this big fuss, and you know what? I got these two idiots over going, "Dude, we'll see you later." You know, it's just like, you know, and it's just like, really, you know, and that's like the story. I get stopped somewhere, and everybody's like running on me. He's like, "Dude,
that's great.
We'll see you later." Well, we told him not to do that, ma'am. You know, he just, you know, and they're like walking out. They're like leaving me there. Finally, got all sorted out. And I come walking out, and they're like, you know, Zack's somewhere, just like drinking a beer. Him and Nick are like eating somewhere. It's like they eat. They're like, I'm like, "Oh, let's sit down and eat." He goes, "No, we're gonna go, man. You know,
they left you.
It took you so long, you know." But I got my guitar. That's all it counts. But yeah, you ain't no Tony Iommi. I still remember that, and it was. Not to be, it was the head weave, and I was just like, "Oh my God," I knew I was done because she meant business.
Yeah, and she knew.
And she was mad.
And she knew.
And that's what she said. I know me some Black Sabbath, and you were no Tony Iommi. And I was like, well, you know.
But you did have a pass, though.
I did have a pass.
Okay.
It said Tony Iommi. Because they could see it. It's a badge.
How did Tony get in there?
He didn't show. You know what I mean? He didn't come to the show. So it was an extra badge they had laying around. So they give me Tony Iommi.
They don't put your name on it. They just go.
No, that was, yeah. So, it was too late to get me one that said Fred Kowalo. They just, well, here, we'll give you Tony's badge. Tony's not coming. It's the last day.
That's awesome. Is it when you were out there this time? Is it more like a job to you?
It's a job. I didn't. You know what? I didn't.
Did you go to any of the parties?
I went to the parties. I went to the Dimebash.
What is that? What's
Thanks,
Dimebash?
Chad Lee. I went to the Dimebash, and it's to honor Dimebag Darrell, and it's like all these guitar players get up there and they play associated songs with Pantera, Damage Plan, stuff that he liked, and they all get together, they jam. It's this great party, everybody's up there, woo, they get drunk and stuff like that. And I decided I'm not going to get drunk this NAMM. I'm not even going to drink. I'm going to go out there. It's a business, and I want to go out and, just these guys are my friends, and I miss them.
Yeah.
I miss my friends.
Yep.
So I said, hey, Chad, I'm going to come out there, what do I do about tickets? He goes, oh, you can get them online or whatever. I said, oh, cool, man. It's sold out. I'm like, I should be able to get like a ticket or a pass or something,
Right.
He goes, oh, you know what? I'll ask. So it's sold out. I'm like, oh, man, I'm all bummed out. I can't get in. It's sold out. So I'm sitting in my room, and I'd been given a pass. It was an after-show pass.
Okay.
And it was for the cookout that Dave Grohl was like cooking all the barbecue and stuff like that.
Right.
And I said, well, look, I don't have tickets. And I'm sitting with Mike Inez. I see him in the hotel lobby. He's like, oh, dude, we'll all go down. I'll meet you down there. We'll go backstage. And we'll hang out. I'm like, yeah, cool, man, but I don't have a ticket. He goes, we don't need tickets. Come on. So we get down there. Mike's still back at the hotel. I'm down there early. I'm like, great, I'm early. And I had that backstage pass that they had given me. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna use the old Fred charm. So I go walking up
or
to
the Fred bullshit.
I walked up to the ticket counter, and I looked at the lady and I said, hey, where do I go to get backstage? And she's like, no, you can't get in for that. It's not till the show's done. I'm like, wait, what? The show's done at like 12:30. She's like, yeah, you come back at 12:30. And I'm like, it's 9 o'clock now. Yeah, you can't get into the show with that. I'm like, but they said I could. The drummer said I could. She goes, who did? I said, the drummer. There's like 20 drummers at this thing, And she's like, oh, the drummer said? Oh, okay. And she hands me a ticket for a solo. I'm like,
are you kidding me?
And I'm dead. And even I went. I turned around. And
couldn't be that easy.
It's me. It's me. In my messed up mind, I talk to the offstage camera. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I'm like, and I turned around and I looked at this ticket and it said, it gave me free admission. And I went, you got to be kidding me. That was so easy. And I went walking in, not believing that, that this was going to get me in. And the guy said something to me. I'm like, what's that? He said something again. I can't hear for shit. I'm thinking he's saying, get out of here, beat it. And I said, well, I got a ticket. He's like, are you drinking? I'm like, yeah.
Sure, I'm drinking.
Here's my wrist. Here, give me that there wristband. So I go walking in, and I know everybody. First person I see is Steve Gibb, my old roommate. He's like, hey, what are you doing here? And Kurt Winstein's like playing and singing. And I forget what song they were playing. And
Steve Gibb down?
Yeah, he was in Down. He was in Black Label for a bit, but he's most notably for the Bee Gees.
Yeah, the family, right?
Yeah.
A bass player, right?
He's a guitar player in the Bee Gees.
Okay.
He's a bass player in Down and Black Label, but he plays guitar in the Bee Gees.
I remember.
So he's sitting there, he goes, what are you doing here? And I'm like, I'm just came to the show. He's like, oh, you want to go back? I'm like, yeah, let's go back. So we go walking backstage. You can't go backstage. What? I got the pass. It's not good for backstage till 12:30. But it says VIP on it. They said it could. Who did? The drummer. Which drummer? And I'm sitting there going, and Steve can get backstage because he got laminate. He got the pass. He got the right pass. So everybody's going, hey, man, you coming back? And I'm like, I see everybody I know. And, the guys from King, Phil Demo, everybody's like walking back here. And I'm going, no, I can't. I don't have a pass. And they're like, what do you mean you don't have a pass? You're Fred Kowalo. You gotta have a pass. Oh. Guy's like, you can't come back. It says right here on the pass sheet, do not admit till 12:30 after the show. And I'm like, I can't get backstage. So I'm sitting there, and this other tech I know, he comes walking out. He goes, what are you doing, man? I'm like, I can't get back. Why not? I don't have a pass. What do you mean you don't have a pass? I have this pass, but it doesn't get me backstage. Really? And I'm like, yeah, I can't get back here. He goes, hands me a laminate. He goes, now you can get back. I said to the guy, hey, man, check it out. I got a lamb. He goes, oh, you can go backstage. He goes, backstage. I walk back there, and everybody's like, hey, you finally made it, blah, blah, blah. We're sitting there laughing. We're sitting back here. And I see Chad Lee. Chad Lee's like, hey, buddy. I'm like, right. He was, if it was anybody that I knew that could get back here, it was you. And I'm like, really, you motherfucker, And so I busted his balls.
Sounds like bullshit to me.
I busted his balls real hard. But but it was right. If anybody could get back, and that's what everybody says. We knew you'd get back here somehow, And so I'm back there, I'm hanging out. So you see everybody, and Dave Grohl's cooking,
That's pretty cool.
Chad Kroger's like standing next to me. He's like, boy, that food smells good. I'm like, don't talk to me. It's like, you're from Nickelback, beat it. And it's just like,
he was there?
Oh yeah, dude. And it was great. It was great seeing these guys. He's really nice. A little small talk for a little bit, and and just seeing all your friends because and that kind of thing. And then Dave Grohl cooked, and this ribs were amazing. Everything, the barbecue, and everything was great. And I saw Rita down there, Rita Haney, and she's the one that gave me the, she's the pass and stuff like that. Right. So I got back here,
right?
And it was nice, and it was a nice celebration for to remember Dime by. He was a really generous, nice man, and
dude's 15 years, right?
It's been 15.
It was 15 years.
Yeah, and and it's just it's a tragedy. And it's nice to see people still coming together and celebrating the guy because he was fun. He was a blast, man. And and that was the party that I went to for that. And then I went and saw Zakk play, and I
was it BLS or just him?
It was BLS, and it was a whole BLS show, and I got at the Grove in Anaheim.
Okay,
and it was the first time that I actually got to take photos like a real photographer.
Right.
And guess who doesn't know the etiquette or where to go or what to do? Because it's my first time. And I'm like 6'2", and I don't want to be in somebody's way, For
the first couple of songs, that's what you're supposed to be doing.
I know. And so I got all these pictures like me crouching down when I should have just been standard going, look around.
Absolutely.
But now I know. Now I know. And now it'll never happen again because, I look at my pictures and go, you suck. It's like, I would have quit. I quit taking pictures. I'm not good. And so, yeah. And, but, I saw that. I saw him after the show for a minute. And I went home. And I lived a really lazy NAMM show. I mean, I did nothing. It's just like, and I had a roommate. I had a roommate. Derek St. Holmes was my roommate.
Oh, get out.
From Ted Nugent. So he's like, hey, so we roomed together, and I'd come home and I'd sneak in. He'd be sleeping. He's sitting there sleeping. I'm like, and I get up in the morning early, and I'd sneak, and he was like, I heard you over there clicking. And I'm like, what? I was counting change like one day, click. I was just like, how much money did I spend at that night? And it was just like, but I had a blast with him, man.
Yeah.
Because a couple of years ago, he and I hung out, him and Brad Whitford for like 5 days. And it was just like, to hear these guys tell stories is amazing. So I love, I had a blast with them. And, and we, because we do the booth together.
Right.
And it's just, it just made sense. And, those are the kind of things that, you're a kid, you're going, one day I want to meet a rock star.
It's hard to believe, yeah.
Now it's like one day I'm sneaking in my room so I don't wake him up, It's 1 o'clock in the morning and I hope I don't wake up Mr. St. Holmes, Because he's sleeping already. He's back in bed. And, and it's just like, it was fun. I didn't go hog wild like I usually do. And
tell me about the shows. The last show I was at was 2009. And I had my fill by then. I just didn't want to go back anymore. I don't know. I just never got a lot out of it outside of meeting a couple musicians I admired and then working with Paul, working with Nuno. I got to work with Bootsy Collins at a show, which was like a trip. But that outside of that work we did to make money to grow Boogie Street, I never wanted to go back because it just wasn't a big thing to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. So how's it? Is it anything changed from, let's say, late 2000s to now?
Nah, it's still the same, man. I mean, it's the same kind of atmosphere, different product. People are more strict. Their policies are strict on back in the day, you could go and get stuff, somebody give it to you. They don't give it to you so much anymore.
Yeah, I heard that.
It's
still $12 hamburgers at the
$12 hamburgers, $15 beers,
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Stuff like that, and you go to the Hilton or some of these bars, it's you buy 2 drinks, it's like $30. It's like, come on, man, So everything's like overpriced, So this is what I do, folks. I get in LA, or I get to California. I do this when I go to LA. Now I do it when I go to Anaheim. I get off that plane, and there's one thing that I want to do. Go to Del Taco. I go to Del Taco. Every time. I ate at Del Taco every day at NAMM.
Don't you just think that's just the same as Taco Bell?
You know what? No. Del Taco's different. There's different things there, Eric. And I go to Del Taco every day. I'm batshit nuts. But what's great is Del Taco is right across the street from my hotel.
Oh, nice.
Like I can look out my window and go, hey, Del Taco.
So you can walk there.
Walk. I drove. I am not crossing Harbor Boulevard. I could tell. I'm like, no. You know what? I don't walk. And it would have been shorter for me to walk across the street from Del Taco than it would be for me to walk into the back lot to find my car wherever I parked it, because it's like way at the other end. I'm starting thinking, yeah, I guess I could have walked.
What's that called? Grubhub or something? They'll bring it to you.
I believe I did it. I had it delivered.
Of course he did.
I had P.F. Chang's delivered. That's serious. I had P.F. Chang's delivered, and it said it'll take 45. This is at Catella. It's in Anaheim, and I'm like, all right, I can wait 45 minutes. Miguel has till 10:45 to deliver your food. Well, it's 8:50 now, so it's not a problem. Well, that car hasn't moved. His little car hasn't moved on the app. Yeah, still sitting there. Still sitting there. Oh, we are preparing your food now. Still sitting. So I'm sitting there like, 10:30 or whatever, and you're sitting there going, yep, still hasn't moved. Your order is out for delivery. It's like, no, but he hasn't moved. He hasn't moved, and no. Oh, there he goes. No. Where the fuck is he going?
Liquor store.
Miguel is delivering another order first, and it's like, whoa.
Okay.
You still have till 10:45. Oh, no, change to 10:50. Nope. 11 o'clock, and I'm going, what the fuck, man? And so the guy shows up. He finally, he must have been stuck in like some parking garage for like forever. And he acts like nothing's wrong. And he hands me my food. Of course. He hands me my food, and it's like, it was like a bag of ice. It's just like, this is supposed to be soup and hot, and it's cold. How can I like Chang's spicy chicken, and it's not even, it's like, what is this? And the crab rangoons, and you're like holding them, and they're going, it's like, dude, what is the deal with? And you call up and you complain. They're like, well, he did deliver it by 11 or 10:59, and I'm like, wait a second, it changed. The time changed. The delivery. Oh yeah, but he was there. We said by 11, and he was there at 11:59. That's when he hit the button and showed us. I'm like, I want my money. No, sir, sorry, no refunds. Sorry your food was cold, but you should have a microwave. I'm in a hotel, you asshole. I'm going to stab you, when I see you with a plastic fork.
A microwave.
Do you have a microwave? No. You know what? I don't have a microwave in my hotel room. Do you have a microwave? I never thought about putting it in a microwave. Wow. I get cold food, and I should just put that in a microwave. I was thinking about rubbing 2 sticks together and making a fire up here to, roast something. And it's just like, do you have a microwave? I'm like, really? No, man. Actually, I don't. Maybe Miguel should turn off his air conditioning. It's like that was actually the guy's name. So it's just
Miguel.
Yeah, and I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. you know, and you're sitting around and you're just like, so now it's ruined, but you still try to eat it. And it's just like, because it costs $12 if you buy it in the store, but guess what? It was delivered. It's going to cost you $32.50 just for a soup. And I'm like, it's just for a soup, you know. Well, you know, you had the tip, you know, and then you had the delivery fee, and then you had the restaurant delivery fee, and then I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. I'm going to kill somebody. Actually, on the last tour, there was right across the highway was a Five Guys.
Okay.
And you couldn't cross the highway where we were at because it was a highway. But you know, they have Grubhub, you know, and I'm like, and I'm not a big fan of these things. And I ordered food. It's across the street. And the guy comes and picks it up. I'm like, wow, that was fast. This is amazing. You know, I love this, you know. And then he starts driving in the other direction. And I'm like, wait a second. And I call him. I said, where's my food? I said, where are you going? He's like, I got another delivery. I'm like, you got another delivery? Well, what the, you know, I'm like, what's the deal with the other delivery? He goes, I'll bring in your food as soon as I drop this off. You know, and again, he has till 10:45 to bring your food. You know what? It's 9:30 right now. You know, no, this guy's out. He parks his car. You just see the car on the app. You're calling him going, he's like, man, I'm delivering food. You've been sitting for 20 minutes somewhere off the.
Yes, they shouldn't do that, right? They shouldn't provide the customer the ability to see the movement of the vehicle.
Well, no, he was moving the vehicle. He stopped and parked somewhere and probably filled up with gas, probably talked to his friends or whatever. He's out like 20 miles away from where I'm at.
Great.
And I'm like,
That's great.
He brings it back. My drink wasn't there. But there was an empty drink in a cup holder. And I'm like, hey, man, what about my drink? He goes, they didn't give me no drink. I'm like, I'm going to kill somebody. I'm going to kill somebody. And they didn't give me a drink. Well, that's a Five Guys drink there. Well, yeah, I got that on my own. Really? Because I don't think you got that on your own. I think it's my drink, you know, asshole. They didn't give me a drink. I'm telling you. All right, cool. It was Five Guys. It was a soggy bun that was cold. It was. I couldn't even eat it. So I call up. Nobody answers at the restaurant. I do Grubhub. Nobody's getting back to you. You know, send a complaint. You know, via text or whatever. You know, you do all that crap. They don't get back to you. Finally, they get back to you like 2 days later, going, "We are so sorry about the service, but it was delivered within the time." He signed off on the order at 10:44. I'm like, it was delivered within the proper amount of time. I'm like, yeah, it was across the street. I would have walked there, but I'd be playing Frogger with my stuff. And I'm just like, you know what? So I just decided, you know what? I don't even eat it anymore.
You've had enough.
Yeah, I've had enough. I don't even order that stuff anymore. You know, but
what's going on with you now? What's the plan? Or you can't tell us the plan.
I don't have a plan.
Is it a secret plan?
I don't have a plan. I'm doing absolutely. There is no plan. No plan. And every time I say that, somebody calls me to go out on tour. So
Guaranteed.
I've got no plan. In fact, I'm going to announce my retirement right here, right now. What is today? The 30th.
It's only probably been announced in my presence for the last 15 to 16 years.
It's January 30th, 2020. I'm officially retired from the road.
Yeah. There you go.
Wow. Hey, look, check it out. And can you come tune guitars for me this weekend? Yes, I can.
Before you split, talk about the photography a little bit, because you seem to be immersed in it.
You know what it is? I dig my photography. You know what? It's hard.
I told you it was going to be hard.
It's not taking an iPhone and going, oh, man, check this out.
You don't say.
Oh, I'm going to enter this in a contest, and I won. Oh, great. No, now I take a picture. I'm like, what the fuck is that? I look at it. It's just like, is that abstract? I'm going to tell people I'm start taking like abstract art photos, because that's what my shit looks like. It's like, no, it's a caterpillar. Don't you see it?
There's a market for that.
You know, but yeah, it's a caterpillar. No, it's really not a caterpillar. That's a I don't know what that is, you know. Is it a fuzzy caterpillar? No, it's not supposed to be a fuzzy caterpillar. It's a green caterpillar. It's brown. What are you talking? It's not even the right color. And it's like, you know, so I sit around and I amuse myself with photography, because taking pictures of Zakk, I had all the settings. I had everything. I was told my buddy Cooper told me
Yeah.
what to do. Coop's like, here's what to set it on.
Right.
Start from there, go from there. I did. And it kept changing on me. I'm like, why is this changing on me? It's set the way he told me. No. Idiot didn't put it on manual mode. Idiot put it on priority, shutter priority, whatever. And so it's changing it to whatever. So
now you know.
now I know. It's a learning thing. But I wasted a day of learning. But I learned, but I'll never get that opportunity again because I suck. And nobody else is going to, it's like, hey, can I get a photo pass for this next concert coming up? Hey, can we see some of your previous work? What is that? Is that a caterpillar? No, it's Zakk Wylde. It looks like a caterpillar. It's Zakk. Is it supposed to be that fuzzy? It's Zakk. He's a beard.
Great.
All right,
that is so great.
So it's stuff like that. But I am learning how to do it. And what's weird is I just don't do one thing. I sit around the room when you're bored and it's a job and a business, and now I've got a camera. So I take pictures of things. I've got so many pictures of my television. I've got pictures of the little fire nozzle thing up there. It's just like, wow, look at that. That's a fire nozzle thing. Look how, see if I can see the writing on it.
The clarity.
The clarity. And that's what I try. That's what I
right,
learned. And then I go out in the real world and I shoot, and it's a caterpillar. No, it's not a caterpillar. It's a bus.
You'll learn.
And that's what it, so I started learning. I was out in the woods. This is what I love. People are like, I tried to get a hold of you. Yeah. And what happened? I didn't get anything. Your phone was shut off. Guess what I was doing? I'm taking pictures of what?
Anything.
Anything. I'm out in the woods. I'm learning. I was worried sick about you. You know what, Mom?
It is crazy that we're so damn tethered. Everybody wants to know where everybody's at. Even your Grubhub guy, you want to know where he's at.
I want to. Yeah, but you had my food that I paid. It's a hamburger. I paid $32 for a hamburger. But yeah, so I go out into the woods and I take pictures.
Right.
And it gives me an excuse to get out of the house. You know what I mean? It gives me an excuse to go find something to do. And I take my camera to work or whatever, and just walk around the streets. There's a pigeon. That's not a pigeon. What is that?
It's a shoe.
It's a shoe. My God, somebody's shoe, and you're trying to pass it off as a pigeon. Let me adjust it in Lightroom. You'll understand. So yeah.
So where can they find you on Instagram to view these photographs?
Fred Kowalo Photography on Instagram.
Ooh,
I'm gonna play. Yeah, I read all that. Yeah, and it's I mean it's an eclectic bunch of photographs that I've taken around the world.
It's awesome.
And I used to take pictures with like other cameras. And I had hard drives full of them, and they were stolen in South America. And so now I have to start all over again. And I wish I had some of those old pictures because they were great.
Right.
And now I think I try too hard to come up with a decent picture. And it's just like, let me see. Here's a statue of a buffalo. Here's a statue of the buffaloes inside. Oh, look how zoom I can get this. Oh my goodness, thank you for this lens, Eric.
The buffalo's balls.
Yeah. I'm like looking up his nose, and it's look, it must be really made of metal because I'm like getting like the tarnish in there. I'm like, wow, this is so detailed. And then I go back to the room and they're like all blurry. I'm like, well, no, but I'm learning, and I think that's
absolutely.
I'm having fun doing it.
All right, so it's Fred Kowalo Photography.
Fred Photography.
And then what is the other Instagram account?
Fred of Death Official.
Fred of Death, DETH.
Yeah.
Just look at Fred Kowalo. Come on, there.
Just look me up. I'm on there.
You're still not doing the Facebook thing.
No, my God, no. Why ain't you put me on your Facebook account? You too good, Mr. Rockstar. No, man. My mom is the only person. The only reason I did it was to play a game. Like I said, people come up. You lied. I'm like, I lied about what? You lied to me. I lied to you about what?
Oh, man.
You said you didn't have Facebook, and you do. Do I? You tell me, Mr. Liar. I'm like, you can't add me? I didn't even know I had it. I did it to play a game, and you get like the free spins or the free golf balls or whatever. But and then I quit playing the game.
You had a Facebook account.
You lied to me. No, I didn't lie to you. I don't even know I had it, And then you look and it says, like, you have 5,976 friend requests. And it's just like, and all these guys are going, asshole, you're an asshole. Oh, Mr. Friend, you Mr. Rockstar, too good to accept your friends.
That's
I'm like, I didn't even know I had it,
Oh, that's great.
And that's the honest to God truth. You've known me for 20 some years.
Yeah.
I don't embrace this social media stuff. I don't. And everybody's like, well, you're sure into your Instagram. I'm like, you know what? Somebody made me do
easy.
Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram's
it's
easier
easier.
too. Yeah.
Just go, hey, you know what? I just go in there. Oh, look, here's Eric. Like, here's Coop. Like,
yep.
oh, look,
Yeah,
like,
it's easy.
And it's just,
the format's
and then
easier.
you don't have to fuck around with it. It's just like, oh, hey guys, I'm still alive. I'm checking in.
Right.
It was great. For the past 3 weeks, I didn't do any Instagram. I like, here's Eric. Like,
Right.
there's Inez. Like,
Right.
I didn't post anything from NAMM.
Yeah, I noticed that.
And everybody's like, are you alive?
Are you dead?
Are you dead? Where are your photos from NAMM? It's like,
It is kind of crazy. People do go nuts.
Oh, they're like, it's just like, and I'm getting instant messages going, I'm not answering this.
Is anything wrong with you?
Yeah, are you alive? Hey, you know what? I actually, and I'm going to be a jag off here. I stopped answering my text messages.
You don't say.
And I did it for I just disappeared off I just want to disappear off the face of the earth.
Yeah.
And
do that once in a while.
And everybody's like, are you dead?
Uh-huh.
And it's like, are you dead? And then, they send you 15 things. Are you dead? And if I'm not answering, yeah, I'm dead. And it's fine. You got to write, Mom, stop it. I'm alive. I'm alive. That's like the only person. Are you dead? It's like, you know what? If I don't come home, but
so you're going back out again.
no, nobody's called
By
yet.
tomorrow, I'll get an email or a text message or a call from you. Yeah, hey, I'm going out again. This is good, buddy. This was good. And we did it sober tonight, too. Well, relatively sober.
Nah, I didn't even drink it. It's a prop.
Before. Yeah, tonight it's been a prop. Yeah. You're not even an Apple guy.
But, it was there in case I needed it.
So we'll see you soon, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Unless I go out on tour.
So we have, if he is in town, we're going to be pairing Fred up with two other. What we're going to do in 2020 is going to be have shows with multiple guests on, and we're going to do some roundtable stuff that we have planned. We're going to bring people from different backgrounds and so forth. So Fred's always the guinea pig for everything. So look forward to doing that, too.
I'm up for it. We're going to have some fun.
All right, brother. I appreciate it, man.
Not a problem, man.
All right, Fred Kowalo, we are out. What do you think?
I liked it.
Awesome.
It was
Good
all right.
stuff. I used to doing shows with you when we were sober.
I had no idea what I was going to say.
It was awesome. All right, wait, before you split, wait, you just, what did you just fucking say?
I shit you not, man. So the European bus, this is no joke. Fucking, we get there, and it's the worst bus ever, and it's filled with piss, and there's shit in the toilet, like food in the toilet, dirty dishes and dirty silverware, and I'm a clean. I don't want to say I'm a clean freak, but I'm a germ nut.
Right.
So there's fucking shit everywhere, and this guy, you're on a schedule to get somewhere, and it's just like, man, this bus stinks. We're giving this guy a problem and stuff like that. And it's like, come on, dude, we can't be late. Just go, just drive. Don't stop for anything. And the bus really stinks, and it's like it smells really bad. And it's like. What the fuck is that smell? The toilets are he dumped the tank. It's like something smells like shit in the bus. Well, the guy took us literal. I guess when you look like us, and you got all these black label dudes and hard asses with leather jackets and long hair, he didn't stop. And I guess a fart became a shart, and he shit his pants. I have this thing with people shitting their pants around me, and the guy shit his pants. And I guess he didn't stop. And I guess it kind of ground into the seats. So just make the bus even, better. Because it's Europe, you know. Why live in luxury when you can suffer, you know? And so we're suffering. So this guy is coming through like the air conditioning, you know, the air conditioning. I lied. I'm sorry. The ventilation system, yeah. Because it never really got cold. And so it's like coming through there, and it's just like, what the hell? And then we notice this guy's got like a brown stain on his pants. And then like the next day, he's got the same pants. And then the next day, the same pants. Now, I you know what I say. I just do. I'll shower and I'll throw the same clothes back on, you know. No, not if I shit my pants. And so it was Shitty Britches. We called him Shitty Britches. Yeah, hey man, Shitty Britches is looking for you. Yeah, Shitty Britches is sleeping. You know. Hey, Shitty Britches.
Oh, it doesn't get more Black Label than that.
And that's exactly what it was. It was Fulton County Prison, dude.
We're out.
Fulton County Prison. Dead serious, man. True story.
Oh my God.
I know.
Fingertips above the water, you watch me drown. You could have saved me, but you let me down. Yeah.